Hi, I'm Jan Arnold, co-founder of CND, and I'm here to present our newest sculpting powders called Retention Plus Powder. This gorgeous new powder offers crystal clear results, creamy, full-bodied consistency, and control galore for all your dramatic or not so dramatic enhancement designs. Retention Plus powders work in the same mix ratio as our perfect colored powders, 1.5 parts liquid to 1 part powder, but you'll notice the feel and flow is a little different. So we'll take a look at how they work, and we'll give you some ideas along the way on the best way to use them. Let's start by looking at the mix ratio with Retention Plus white powder. We're using Retention Plus liquid and an ultra sculptor, so we can really hold a lot of liquid in the brush. Dip your brush into the liquid and wipe the belly against the side of the dish. Then dip the tip of the brush back into the liquid and wipe against the side of the dish. Do this several times to be sure the brush is full of liquid. Draw a line slowly through the white powder as you count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Pick up the bead and hold it upside down for another 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Now turn the brush over and look at the bead. It should look creamy and glossy. We'll take the bead to a nail that has already been prepped and a form applied. Lay the bead in the middle of zone 1 to create the tip extension. Let it settle, then begin to press it from side to side using the flags of the brush. While the product is at its wettest, establish the smile line with firm, deliberate presses. Use the side of your brush to establish the side walls of the enhancement and press the bulk of the product to the center for the beginning of the apex. Keep sides thin and tapered. Look at the completed Zone 1. It should have clean lines and a beautiful smile. If you need to detail the smile line, feel free to do so with the dry tip of your brush. Zone 2, the nail plate, is still nice and dry, so let's move on to Zone 2. We'll create a bead using Retention Plus pink powder the same way we did with white. Dip your brush into the liquid and wipe the belly against the side of the dish. Then dip the tip of the brush back into the liquid and wipe against the side of the dish. Do this several times to be sure the brush is full of liquid. Draw a line slowly through the pink powder as you count to 3. Pick up the bead and hold it down for another 3 seconds. And turn the brush over and look at the bead. It should look glassy. Place the bead on the nail in the middle of Zone 2 and let it settle. Then take the flattened brush to the bead and give it a firm press. Press it and really pack it against the nail to assure complete contact to the nail plate in Zone 2. Once it's secured to the nail plate, continue to press the back of the bead to taper it and make it flush to the nail plate. This will help to prevent color lines with your pigment and will give you better clarity in the end. Keep the sides tapered and maintain the upper arch apex. Then lightly smooth any remaining product over Zone 1. Now it's time to complete the nail with a small pink bead in Zone 3. Use exactly the same process to create the bead. Take this bead and press it firmly to the middle of Zone 3. Let it settle, then press the bead from side to side, packing it securely to the nail. Then taper it to the cuticle area, leaving a tiny free margin around the side walls and cuticle line. Now check the nail for smooth lines and no dips, and add product if needed. To finish the enhancement, use the blizzard file and the 240 side of the koala to shape and refine. To bring the enhancement to a high shine, we've chosen to use Brisa Gloss. Brush the dust away and apply one thin coat of Brisa Gloss and cure for 2 minutes. Clean the inhibition layer with Scrub Fresh and look at this gorgeous nail. So clean and sparkling. Now let's look at the technique one more time, but this time we'll do a simple single color overlay using Retention Plus clear powder. Use the same process to create a clear bead. Dip your brush into the liquid and wipe the belly against the side of the dish. Then dip the tip of the brush back into the liquid and wipe against the side of the dish. Dip and wipe several times to be sure the brush is full of liquid. Draw a line slowly through the clear powder and count to 3. Pick up the bead, hold it upside down, and count for another 3 seconds. When you turn the bead over, it should look glassy. To sculpt the enhancement, we'll use a prepped nail with a tip already applied. Place the bead to the free edge line. Let it settle, then press it firmly from side to side and pack it against the tip. Press from side to side, keeping the bulk of the product in the center of the nail to create your apex. Taper to the sidewalls and extension edge, then smooth over the entire zone. Using a second bead, place it to the nail in the middle of zone 2. Let it settle, then give it a firm press. Begin to press it and pack it against the nail to assure complete contact to the nail. Keep the sides tapered and maintain the upper arch apex. Smooth into zone 1, then press the back of the bead to taper it and make it flush to the nail plate. And smooth the entire zone. Complete the nail by placing a bead firmly in zone 3. Let it settle, then press the bead from side to side, packing it securely to the nail. Smooth into zone 2, then taper it to the cuticle area, leaving a tiny free margin around the side wall and cuticle line. Smooth the entire zone. Take a look at your enhancement and add more product if needed to complete the shape. Make sure your apex and upper arch are structured properly to give the enhancement strength and durability. To finish the enhancement, use a 180 blizzard file followed by the 240 grit side of a koala to shape and refine. Then add a drop of solar oil and buff with the 1200 side of the koala. Then remove any excess oil by washing the hands. Then use the glossing block to bring to a high shine. And look at the results. Beautiful. Retention Plus powder creates amazing crystal clear enhancements with ultimate control, and your clients will love the results. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll try these amazing new powders and see for yourself their clarity and beauty.